Hello there everyone, Shibby here. Hope everyone out there is doing well and seeing back once again with some more Pokemon trading card game pocket ranked matches. Today's video, I felt like joining the dark side. I'm going to try out a Giratina and Lunala deck. I joke because I've seen this deck, I'm sure everyone has a ton in ranked. So I just wanted to try one for myself and just see how good it really is. Now I didn't follow a guide or anything when putting this together. I just kind of threw this together myself just to see if I could really. So I don't know if this is the most optimal way to run this deck, but this is just how a particular way that I'm just going to try. But I will have the entire deck list in the description of the video below should you want to try this deck out for yourself, or just simply tell me what I'm doing wrong with it. But this deck is pretty simple. Game plan wise, Giratina's Broken Space Billow and Lunala's Psychic Connect have really good synergy while you're building up the energy with Giratina. With Lunala, you are freely capable to move any energy you want to your active space Pokemon. So if you have 3 energy in the Giratina, Lunala in the front, you can move all that energy into Lunala and attack, or reverse and build your Giratina up much faster. So yeah, that's kind of the idea, is to try to move energy around and get going as fast as possible. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling, and let's go find our first game to see if I manage to mess this deck up or not. I'll be back when I find my first match. Alrighty, looks like I found my first opponent here. We do have the misfortune of going first, so hopefully I have a Giratina in my opening hand. And I do. We got 2 actually, so don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably very bad. But I guess we'll have the one up front as fodder, I guess. And build up our one in the background. Or maybe we can just build up the one up front, because we're going up against an old school Charizard deck. Presumably. I don't know why you'd run Trace with Shining Revelry Charizard. I think the best way to kind of run that now, with the rare candies and stuff, is to just run Shining Revelry Charizard on its own without any support. Or maybe running it within Fernape, or not Fernape, excuse me, Incineroar, since it's pretty self-sufficient now and you can get going pretty fast if it hits quick enough, if you hit quick enough with the evolutions in your hand and the rare candy. But alrighty. Let's see what we can get done here. We can start swinging in 2 turns. Not counting the first one we just took, so 3, I guess. Now, I would like to ideally probably draw into a Sabrina as quickly as possible to get that Charmander out of here. Because I do want to rule out the threat of it one-shotting me. But let's see what we can do. We got another Rocky. Or another, like I had one before. We got a... Well, I did have a rock helmet. I can't keep track of the shit that's in my hand because I'm stupid. Alright, well now, we got our Giratina just about built up. So we can start swinging on the small trace. So, you know, for myself, like, I haven't tried out, like, old school Charizard with the rare candy editions. So I do wonder if it's, like, halfway decent now. I mean, not that it was, like, particularly bad before, but I don't know if that just made it so much better. We're going to find out, because they already have it. No, it actually is a Shining Revelry Charizard. I presume too much. Alright, well, they're going to move it into Stoke. So we are kind of in a bad way here right off the gate. Or right out of the bat. Right out of the gate, right off the bat. I can't say words for whatever reason. Alright, let's show this Mythical Slab and see if we can get something halfway decent. There's a Cyrus, which tells me my Cosmogs are just at the bottom. Now, I don't think it would behoove me. I guess we should probably put energy into this Giratina just to... so we can get it out next turn. I mean, it's going to get swung on. Nothing I can do about it right now. But this Charizard will take a 20 damage for attacking into me, though, so that's good. Now, they could Sabrina in the other one, which would be a pain in the ass. But let's hope they don't do that. But they actually opted not to attack. I do not know why they would have made such a decision. But I will not argue with that. We're going to get this Giratina the hell out of here and swing on this Charizard. But we're also going to oak it up as well to mill this deck out and try to draw in some stuff. Get another oak, and there's our Cosmog. So now, ideally, I like a rare candy. So let's swing into Charizard here. Now, they could have one-shot my Giratina the last turn, so I don't know why they didn't swing. They did just kind of make things easier on me here. Now, I do lose Giratina now, but I could have lost both of them more quickly. So now... Well, I guess it really doesn't matter because I can't attack. So the only thing that's going to really save me here now... Well, actually, there's nothing that can save me here now. I was going to say I could use Lunala's effect to put more energy into Giratina, but it doesn't look like I'm going to really get that opportunity. So I do believe that's GG's, actually. Alright, well, we're going to lose the first one right out of the gate. Unnecessary red card. And... God, the game is really just determined to not give me a rare candy of any kind. Even when it's too late, won't ever see it. Well, I guess at this point, I probably could have just evolved instead of waiting out for the rare candy, but we're never going to get that far along anyhow. Well, unfortunately, we dropped the first round, or the first game with Lunala and Giratina here. Hopefully, we can string together some wins in the next match. But yeah, good game to the opponent. I'm back when I find my next game. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here, and we do have the misfortune of going first again. But this time, we do start out with a Cosmog and a Giratina, and we do have our Lunala as well, so hopefully I can get a rare candy sooner rather than later. Alright, so they're gonna have to, so they can stall with Oricorio there, so that's a little bit of a problem. But I can do nothing, so we'll build energy into our Giratina. Now, unfortunately, I cannot swing on that Oricorio with an EX Pokemon. And we don't have anything other than Giratina and Lunala that can do damage, because Cosmog's other form just prevents damage being done to you, so... kind of not a whole lot I can do about that, so we're just gonna put the Rocky Helmet in the Giratina. Put another energy into the lad. And get it built up more. Alright, so again, kind of an awkward position to be in. Alright, well, I guess I'll put an energy into Cosmog, just so I can put Giratina up front and teleport, since we would have to tag out anyway to switch it in. Alright. When we get 2 Pokeballs, so we'll get our other Cosmog. I'm glad I was right on that, because that could have just been my other Giratina. But now this will be our other Giratina, because that's the only other Pokemon I have in this deck. Alright, well actually, I'm going to have to retreat, because if I use teleport, it's going to take too many turns to get Giratina out here. I don't know what I was thinking before. Ignore half of anything I say. Alright. Now we get energy into Giratina here. And we can swing on Snorlax. But again, Oricorio is just going to put a big dampener on everything. I don't know if there's really anything I can do to overcome it. But again, only Giratina and Lunala can do damage on this team. And we're going to get swung on by Snorlax here. I'd presume. But it is asleep. Now I can take out Snorlax. And Snorlax is up. But I can't take out Oricorio. which does make this a problem. So I guess we'll put an energy into this Giratina. And I can't really do much else, unfortunately, other than attack and knock out Snorlax. Now, presumably, they're going to bring in Oricorio and then probably knock out the Giratina here. I will, however, Sabrina in that other Snorlax on the next turn. Alright, so we're going to knock out Giratina. Now, if there are other two Pokemon in Oricorio, then we're in a winless situation because there's nothing I can do about knocking out Oricorio, unfortunately. I mean, I do have another Rocky Helmet in here somewhere. I take it back. I can't remember if I put 2 Rocky Helmets or 1 Rocky Helmet, 1 Poison Barb. The point being, is there something else in here that can chip away at this Oricorio? I would just need to draw it first, but we have to get Snorlax in here to even have a puncher's chance at doing any real damage here. Now, once again, I do believe both my rare candies are at the bottom of this deck. Which, go figure. And they're 2 Pokemon in Oricorio. Well, that does put a dampener on things. So, I think, really, I need a Rocky Helmet. Okay, well, I guess we'll oak it up here. Oh, they got Greninja as well. Alright, well, I guess rare candy's not going to be an option. So, I don't know if there's any real way I can get Greninja in here. And then hope and pray that I can draw into it. Or draw into... I mean, I can draw into Sabrina, but... why would they ever bring Greninja or Froakie, well, Greninja now, in here? I mean, really, my only play would be get my other Rocky Helmet or Poison Barb. I gotta remember what I threw in here. And hoping that Oricorio attacks into it. Alright, it was another Rocky Helmet. Alright, so what we're gonna do here... Alright, let me think for a moment. Obviously, we're gonna evolve the Lunala. Alright, retreating is gonna cost me 2, but we gotta do it. Because we're gonna use Lunala's effect to give me all the energy that Giratina's got. While at the same time attaching one so we can attack. We're going to put a Rocky Helmet on this Lunala. And there's not really much I can do other than swing on Snorlax. Alright, is there any way somehow, by some miracle, I can get Greninja in here? I don't think there is. So they're going to obviously attack with the stronger Oricorio. And potentially get 2 Greninjas built up. Which is also a problem. And yeah, even... yeah, Sabrina didn't help me. And they're going to Cyrus and my other Giratina. Which does not have a Rocky Helmet on it, so there is that. And it's going to get popped for 20. And then another 50. Alright, so the chip away game is not really going to work here. Just not even in the slightest. So I have to Psychic Connect, get all of my energy into Giratina here. And then put an energy into Lunala. Retreat. And pray really is all I can do here. I mean, I guess try to delay a little bit here. And we're not going to get heads. And, well, I guess we'll just do Broken Space Bellow just to get more energy. Now, time is not on my side. I would say I could try to get that other Cyrus in the other Oricorio and get it to attack into me, but it'd have to attack into me 3 times, and we're not going to get that opportunity because they have 2 Greninjas. So, yeah, I just could not do anything, unfortunately. The second Oricorio was unfortunately on the field. This became a loss, so... Unfortunately, when we're built around EXs and with no middle stages or basics that can attack offensively that are non-EX, not really a whole lot I could do there, unfortunately. But yeah, so not a strong start to a deck that I thought would perform a little better than this, but it's probably me problem. But good games that opponent. I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my final opponent here. And good God, first 3 times in a row. Today is just not my day. All right. Well, we get our Giratina out first. We're going up against another Charizard deck. I respect it. My Charizard deck is my main deck as well. Not to say this is this person's main deck, but it's my main deck. All right, we get our other Giratina here. We're going to oak it up and live a little here. We get a Cyrus and a Sabrina. We can make use of that. And let's go ahead and put a Rocky Helmet on this Giratina just to try to make them not attack me here. Okay, so what will you do? Will they take the damage off Charmander here? Alright, now what are you running alongside Charmander here, if anything? Charizard Turtonator, okay. Interesting combination. I'm not sure if I've seen that yet or not. I could see how that would be, how that would work. Though I've not actually drawn Turtonator at all, so I've not been able to try that for myself. It seems like that'd be a good fun way to run Charizard. And they're also running Incineroar as well. God, so what all is in this deck? Are they just running 1 Incineroar, 1 Charizard, and Turtonator on top of that? Or are they running 2 Charizard lines? But they got that trainer card in their hand, don't they? Or maybe not. Alright, they're going to let Turtonator be a meat shield here. But Turtonator's actually a problem, so we don't want that out here. Or I could Sabrina in Litten or Charmeleon. What is the bigger threat? You know what? I'm just... Maybe this is not a smart play, but I'm going to eliminate the threat of Charizard and Incineroar. Alright, they're willing to sacrifice Charizard. Or Charmeleon, so... we can take Charizard out of play here. At least for the time being. Which tells me they could possibly have an Incineroar in their hands. Alright, maybe not. Now, forget the name of the trainer card that gives Turtonator 2 energy. But they could very well have that as well. Alright, they got a Poison Barb. Kawi, that's what it is. Alright, so I actually have to get this Turtonator out of here. Put an energy into Giratina. Play Mythical Slab, see if we can get our Cosmog. Hey, we do. This will help us mill the deck out further. And we are going to get poisoned, but That is a risk that must be taken, or else we get chipped for 90. Now we have them on the back foot a little bit. Though a rare candy and Incineroar could ruin things here. Alright. I was going to say, what else could you possibly have? And they conceded. Alright, well, I will gladly take wins where I can get them. But alright, well, not the greatest showing in the entire world for Lunala and Giratina. I did honestly expect it to perform a little bit better, but it could have been just the way I have this deck constructed and built. I'm sure there's probably a better way to do this 100%. I am by far and away not the most expert deck, or not at all an expert deck builder, I should say. But alright, well, I do believe I'm going to end the video here. If you made it this far, I do thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.